Just a little bit, ooh, ah, a little bit more, ooh, ah, just a little bit. Hello, my friends, my little baby friends. I'll put on music for a second. Hello, hello. Yo, what up? Think this time. How are you doing? You want to watch some JFK doc? What up, lipstick sheep? I was just gonna record a video for you guys, but I'm trying to be brave and like live stream, and because I can use those recordings anyway and record or edit them down. Making this week so great content. Yeah, dude, honestly, if I didn't have to work, I would. Oh man, I would live stream all day. I think I like it. It's fun, and I feel like people are very thirsty for education, and I am thirsty for being a teacher. I like teaching. I like sharing stuff and collaborating with y'all. 2 days ago, I joined the stream at 4:43. I was so oh no, the legendary 4:44:44 stream. Yeah, and no, how many days? 2 days ago, 1 day ago, 7 days ago. It's all the same. It feels like in the last few months though that everything has been. It feels like time has been going by really fast. Maybe it's just because I'm filling every second of it with like. I have something that I really want to do, but yeah, time is not real. All right, well, there's a couple people in here, right? Let's start watching it, cause I don't know, I probably have like an hour, but okay, so this dude, John Hankey, he's the guy that we watched his JFK Jr. plane crash video, right? Remember that? And dude, he's got like 3,000 subscribers. You guys all go please subscribe to him right now, John Hankey. This YouTube suppresses the frick out of this guy. Like until I was subscribed to him, I could not find his frickin' name. But it's at Real History Channel 1. And dude, that JFK video or the JFK Jr. plane crash video we watched was 11 years ago. It was 11 years ago, and he was making that fire content, It was like all of his funny animations. And then for 30 or 40 years before that, he's been researching it and stuff. And dude, look at this. These days, 2 months ago, he posted a video. This thing that we're going to watch, he released 8 months ago, and it's called Breakthrough. And it's the most concise. It's the best documentary about JFK. I can't believe I haven't seen it until I got like 10 minutes in and I was like, I just need to record because this is the greatest. This has every single thing you need to know about it with all of the evidence like on screen. And he's so funny, dude. Like, I kind of want to get him on the pod like really bad because, dude, he's like really hip and onto it. He's been calling the Nancy connections for I don't know how long. 10 years? Dude, he was talking about Bush being Curious George from 11 years ago. Like this dude is on it. Okay, so let's just watch his doc. This is the best, dude, and you'll perfectly see why they took JFK out in the first 2 minutes. Dude, his editing style's so good too. It's like chaotic as fuck, and like all of the resolutions are different.
Americans have this hole in our hearts. Kennedy was murdered a long time ago, but people still care.
By 1960, the President of the United States was only 42 years old. Can you imagine? And he was going to usher in a new era of peace. He was going to avoid the Cold War. He was going to end segregation. And they blew his fucking brains out in front of everyone in Dallas. This country was never the same.
People still care. That's why
No, literally not only is it not the same, dude, it's like forever tainted because I literally think we're all completely traumatized. Like we we have not even grieved the loss of JFK yet. Like when this is over, we need 10 years off. We'll be just like the Nancys. We're going to except we're not running from our crimes. We're just going to be like, "Oh, we've been abused for for our whole lives. We deserve some time off."
I made this video, and it's why you're watching it. So why did they kill him? Kennedy talked pretty about peace.
No government or social system is so evil that its people must be considered as lacking in virtue. But we can still hail the Russian people for their many
I'm a video editor by trade.
achievements. In some
So it's kind of a cheat, like a lot of people, know some people notice my editing and stuff, but it's what I do for a living, so it's kind of a cheat code. That's also how I'm able to like pump out as much stuff, I think, is just because I already have the base knowledge of like how to get it all cut down. But that's part of my secret arsenal is that I do that for a living, so I'm okay at it.
science and space, in economic and industrial growth, in culture, in acts of courage. For we are both devoting massive sums of money to weapons that could be better devoted to combat ignorance, poverty, and disease. For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's future, and we are all mortal.
He said he wanted to eliminate the military.
Says why was he murdered over on this part, dude? Is it clear now? Like literally he's saying we're all the same, we're all the same, we're all just people, we all just want food, water, shelter, and some freaking love, right? That's it. But no, we have enemy, and it is gay people and trans people and anyone who's not this pale, anyone who's not translucent. They're trying to steal from you. Don't say why are they trying to steal? What are the what are their what's their daily life like or whatever? Are their needs being met? No. Oh, maybe that's why they're stealing. No, shut up. They're stealing because they're brown. Duh. Like, how silly.
Also been talking in Geneva about our first step measures of arm control.
Dude, I would watch VPR live, but I think that I would get a strike. I don't think I can watch that kind of stuff. I would love watching VPR with you, but also we watch with my friend from home. We watch on video chat because it's way better to watch VPR live with people, obviously. But I would love to do a live stream. I'm going to look into it. I'm not tonight, but remind me to look into seeing if I can stream VPR live. Or dude, we could just I mean, I guess I don't have to show it, right? Yeah, that's right. That's true. We could just watch it. But yeah, we'll see. Not tonight, but that's a good idea.
Our primary long-range interest, however, is general and complete disarmament.
And he said it more than once.
The mere existence of modern weapons is a source of horror. It is therefore our intention to challenge the Soviet Union, not to an arms race, but to a peace race.
That's it.
To advance together, step by step, stage by stage, until general and complete disarmament has been achieved. A steady reduction in force, both nuclear and conventional, until it has abolished all armies and all weapons.
Dude, we needed this man so bad.
Make no mistake then, they killed him for that. And every president since Kennedy has known this.
Yes. Not only that, but they're willing, they know this and they're willingly covering it up because they're all assets from the start, in my opinion. Like, people like AOC, such a disappointment. But like, you know, it's smart. This is what the frickin' Bowers or the Rothschilds, you know, the people who are in charge of all of this, the people who are doing this nonsense. And it's not, you know, we're not being anti-Semitic. I don't even think they are Jewish. I think that they're just Nazis, right? They're just National Zionists, business extremists. I know, I need things
But
to
Peacemaker
change
getting
too.
killed is hardly news, eh? It's
VPR is Vanderpump Rules. It's the best reality show that's ever been made. There's no better reality show. Survivor. I love Survivor too.
been going on for thousands of years, and the killers have put a lot of disinformation out there about who you should think murdered JFK. But there have been several breakthroughs that give us a much deeper view into the truth of who killed JFK and why. And like Hamlet said, you can't bury the truth.
Damn it. Foul deeds will... Let me shrink this up.
Like Garrison said,
power cannot possibly smash truth out of it.
And do we know who Jim Garrison is? He was the New Orleans district attorney. He was the first, like, I guess, conspiracy theorist, but he was like a great prosecutor, lawyer, like, you know, like an actual good person back before the conspiracy took over everything. And he was investigating, I feel like it was something ancillary to this, and then just like stumbled into it and was like, wait, I think the frickin' president was assassinated by our own government. And our government railroaded the shit out of him, and like, you know, a couple of his people like got shots fired at them and stuff. Like, these people are willing to do anything to shut everyone up, but like, it's too big now. It's too much.
Existence.
But so this dude is the original John Hankey.
And I believe that the people of America want to know the entire truth about how their president was shot down in the streets of Dallas.
it's been a long slog, but we're getting there. My first two documentaries, Dark Legacy and Dark Legacy 2.
Check these out if you are looking for something to watch. Dude, John Hankey does not disappoint. His animated, like, goofy style is so funny. Like, he's a nitwitch. I can feel it. He's gonna be I'm gonna try and make him a bro. I'm gonna replace Dante and Nicole with John Hankey.
Are important contributions, and I need to quickly summarize the history in those videos. The most basic
Thanks,
point
Tweedle.
is that the official story is a sick lie.
I like going live with you guys. It's really cool. And I'm going to try and keep doing it so that I don't feel nervous, because the last time I had like a big break in the middle or in between doing them, because I was like, oh, I don't have a thing to talk about. I don't have a lesson planned. I'm not prepared. But I'm just trying to hop on when I'm doing stuff that I want to do. Thank you. I appreciate
I
that.
didn't shoot anybody, no, sir.
The same afternoon that Kennedy was shot, the New York Times reported that Kennedy had a massive gaping wound in the back of his head, evidence of a shot from the front. Kennedy's press secretary described the fatal shot to reporters as coming from the right front.
Dr. Berkeley told me it's a simple matter, Tom, of a bullet right through the head.
All of the doctors in the Dallas...
I'm going to have to skip soon for TOS because I think they're going to try... you know, John Hankey don't play, and he shows big gaping wounds in the head. But we know about this, right? We know about the frickin' head wound is, like, doctored.
emergency room described the
They,
same...
like, literally did
large
surgery on him. So, this is drawn, so I think this should be fine. But they did surgery because they had this big problem, right? You know? This can only appear if he's, like, shot from the front. So, I just need to find where the skin flap is so that I don't show that. I don't think that they show it here.
This is the entrance for that huge exit wound. The official autopsy was performed by this fellow, who had never done an autopsy involving gunshot wounds, who
Crazy.
burned his notes and then handed in a report showing this as the wound in the back of Kennedy's head. And the story gets worse and worse and darker. Aubrey Reich was working in the Dallas emergency room and tells this story.
I helped put President Kennedy's body in a bronze ceremonial casket on November 22nd, 1963, at Parker Memorial Hospital.
But when Kennedy's body was unloaded at the Bethesda Naval Hospital for the autopsy, it was no longer in the bronze casket.
We opened the pinkish gray shipping casket. There was a gray body bag, zipped shut. We unzipped the body bag, and the president's body was lifted out of the body bag.
2 FBI agents present at the autopsy reported seeing surgery to the head area before the autopsy started. This photo taken before the autopsy shows this performed in Dallas.
Honestly, and looking at these photos, they're pretty much as I remember President Kennedy at the time,
Say hi to your
except
friends.
for that little incision that seems to be coming down in the parietal area.
He's telling us that Kennedy's head wound was altered. Assassin in Dallas on the spotlight. We can make out their shapes from a mile away, but we can't. The monster in and examine the details. In 1978, Spotlight magazine published an article citing a memo written by this man, CIA Chief of Counterintelligence James Angleton, which places this man, an admitted CIA assassin, in Dallas on the day that Kennedy was murdered. The memo says, Hunt was in Dallas the day the president was murdered and was involved in the conspiracy to kill Kennedy. Hunt sued Spotlight magazine for slander and had his day in court. Hunt's explanation of where he was on the day that Kennedy was murdered is a disaster of impossible lies. Now, the jury found the magazine innocent of slander. The jury said publicly that they found that what the magazine had written about Hunt was true. Essentially, they found Hunt guilty of the murder of President Kennedy. Hunt has more connections to George H.W. Bush than he does to his mother. And beyond Bush's connections to Hunt, there is an absolutely dizzying array of other evidence connecting him to the assassination. The key piece is this memo signed by FBI Director Hoover 5 days after the assassination, discussing how the FBI had been investigating the activities of CIA-controlled Cuban operatives in regard to the assassination. Hoover calls them misguided anti-Castro Cubans. Hunt and Bush were supervisors of this group of criminals called Operation Mongoose. Half a dozen of these misguided anti-Castro Cubans have admitted that they were in Dealey Plaza to witness the shooting. Another half dozen have been identified by others as being there. Hoover's memo states that Mr. George Bush of the CIA was called into FBI headquarters the day after the assassination to receive the FBI's report on these operatives.
Mr. George Bush of the Central Intelligence Agency. This shit is written down, dude. I've never seen this document, I don't think. Google conspires with them, in my opinion. They freaking hide everything, bro. They make it so hard to find shit. The dead internet theory has to be true. It is true. Like, we've been shown in the comments and stuff, and up until we got penned in our little echo chamber room that we love, you know, that I would have said it was like 50%, but it's so much, dude. They own everything.
These misguided
So they're able to like hide everything from everyone. And then obviously people like me and John Hankey. John Hankey's been doing this for 12 years and he has 3,000 followers. What the fuck?
Anti-Castro Cubans were obviously deeply involved in the assassination. Many have said that they worked with Bush, and this Hoover memo corroborates that fact. Bush's autobiography, in fact, says nothing at all about the Kennedy assassination.
Oh yeah, don't you love when Mossad members are found outside of the World Trade Centers with bombs and video equipment. And they're like, hold on, send the FBI to investigate.
Assassination. When confronted with this memo, Bush told Joseph McBride that he couldn't be the George Bush in this memo because at the time I was in Houston, Texas, involved in the independent oil drilling business.
Oh my God.
You're going to remember those two huge and fundamental points, that he was in Houston and that his official CIA cover that day was that he was an independent oil drilling contractor. It's a secret. Dude, less than 2 hours after the shooting stopped, you called the FBI and you told them you were...
Oh my God. Mr. George H.W. Bush. He's like, no, it's not me, H.W. Bush. It's my brother, George H.W. Bush, too. Like, the fuck?
Staying at the Dallas Sheraton. You put it in the papers that you were in Dallas the night before. But
what the hell? Dude. Why would they? Yeah, because this is like social media back in the day, right? They'd have to like be like, if they were like businessmen or whatever, in order to get their friends to come hang out, they'd have to like put in the newspaper, like, yo, businessman, oil man George H.W. Bush gonna be partying at frickin' Ruby's tonight. We're gonna be at the club. I think they literally went to Jack Ruby's spot. I'm pretty sure. We'll see. Send a pigeon, yeah.
Let me calm down. I hate this guy, but I don't want to overemphasize this Bush stuff. Prescott Bush.
Dude, I know you have to go on the dark web to find anything, but can you even find anything on the dark web? I'm too scared to look there at all. I'm a little chicken. I guess I need to start looking at some weird places. I mean, I guess I find everything that I am looking for eventually. I just have to search for it 100 different ways and type like Reddit at the end of everything I'm actually looking for.
Bush, George's father, was CEO of a Nazi bank that was seized by Hoover as a Nazi asset. But let's be clear, Prescott owned one share of that Nazi operation. He was an employee. Averill Harriman owned the other 4,000 shares. Harriman was one of the major players,
We have to find who is like this guy now. And I think it's like Peter Thiel. Or Peter Thiel is the George Bush, I think. Because George H.W. Bush was the monster doing everything, but he was acting on the behest of Averill Harriman, and, you know, Alan Dulles was an employee of this guy. Because that's, or whoever, you know, maybe there's another one that's at Sullivan and Cromwell, but there are this is the level of people that, you know, we need to get to. Like this HW almost is like them throwing us Diddy instead of Clive Davis, you know? Like, we got to find out who's doing this right now, and I think it's the Rothschilds. Like, they were behind Nexium. They're behind all this shit. They're behind these law firms. They're behind everything, dude. Like, I'm so sick of this shit. It's all written down. It's like, it's all there, and nothing ever fucking happens. Like,
guys at the table in charge of the conspiracy of trillionaires that murdered Kennedy. I mean, watch this. Hunt and George Bush both worked together on the Bay of Pigs invasion. Their boss was Richard Bissell, and like Prescott, Bissell's boss was Averill Harriman. But it turns out, zooming in on the minor details, like who the shooters were, is interesting, because it seems that Bush was arrested as a shooter. Hard to believe, I know, and this is where we start with another closer look at this.
Do you guys hear that? I didn't know this, and I mean, we've all been goofing and clowning. Like, I've always heard the George H.W. Bush was in Dallas that day, but he says he doesn't remember where he was. Like, I've heard that. I knew that there were suspicions that he was there. Brother, John Hankey's got that man dead to rights. It's over. It's fucking over.
FBI memo from the day of the assassination, written by Agent Kitchell, making an official record of a bizarre phone call Kitchell received that day, an hour and 15 minutes after the shooting of the president. The call was from one Mr. George H.W. Bush, who just thought he'd interrupt the FBI on the busiest day in their history to pass on some genuinely inane hearsay that some harmless kid had been talking of killing the president, day and source unknown. Wait a minute. You're calling the FBI with this information about the murder of the president, and when the agent asks you when and where you heard it, you're going to say that you don't remember? How suspicious is that? The agent writing this memo was all, right, okay, now let me just get your name and address again and where you'll be tonight just in case we need to, talk to you, yeah, in case we need to talk to you later. This phone call is beyond crazy suspicious. It's crazy incriminating because it not only proves Bush was lying to McBride when Bush told McBride that he was in Houston that day, but what he did is give us proof that he was in Dallas. And it shows us that his CIA cover that day was that he was an independent oil man from Houston. Now, notice, Hoover's memo doesn't put Bush in Dallas, but with this memo, Bush put himself there.
Yeah.
He also placed this ad in the Dallas Morning News, showing that he was speaking the night before the assassination in Dallas at the same Sheraton hotel where he told the FBI he was staying. This ad
Like, speaking about what? What is this idiot talking about?
corroborates this FBI memo in every important detail, but most importantly confirming that Bush's CIA cover at that moment was that he was an independent oil man from Houston. I suppose he placed the ad so that if a cop asked him, "What the hell are you doing in Dallas?" he could say, "Oh, I was giving a speech. You know how oil men do, going around giving speeches all the time, right?" Pretty bad, George, giving us all this evidence, but we're just getting started. Because Jim Garrison, the New Orleans district attorney, was, like us, looking, trying to track down the identity of the shooter.
What is what for real? What is this documentary?
And in the process, he casually met a number of honest and competent Dallas police, and it hit him one day. Those guys were all over Dealey Plaza. They probably arrested some of the shooters. Now, the police department told Garrison they hadn't arrested anybody, and so Garrison got on the phone and started calling up the Dallas cops he had met directly, asking if they remembered arresting anyone. One of these cops he called was Roger Craig.
What? The Bush stuff that the Zapata oil thing? Yeah, dude. I've never seen those before either. Until 5 minutes before I started going live, because I was like, what the fuck? He gave himself. That's what these dudes always end up telling on themselves, you know? They always end up leaving the breadcrumbs. It's always like Caleb Hammer, like how he like has to continue like leaving voicemails and stuff on to people. Like, it's like, bro, if you're gonna do crime, don't leave evidence. Why are you putting that you're in Dallas? You're one of the shooters? You're nuts. What an idiot. Like, how stupid. Yeah, they're so messy. And then the only thing that saves them is the fact that they have a grand conspiracy. You know, it's literally like everyone. Dude, they're probably going to nail me one day. Like, it's so big. I'm like, can we even do anything at this point? Like, even if everyone knows, you know, it's like, do some of these people just not care? Have people not even gotten any education in their entire lives to even know that, like, well, if we like identify the problem and we stop those people from doing what they're doing, we could live a different way that would be much better than this. Like, we all just have to admit that this way of living is bad, right? But yeah, this Bush stuff is real AF, dude. I almost without any I have no uncertainty at this point that HW is a German Nancy, bro. It made everything make sense. Nothing has made sense all of our lives until, like, that moment, you know? Like, it's so nutty, but it's specific, and also it makes everything make sense, and it makes all of the, like, uncertainties, the last, you know, all the questions that we've had about this stuff, it's the simplest solution to all those questions, you know? Like, oh, yeah, our president and his son were German Nancies who were into occult stuff, and they also were the assistant of Tesla, who he was sent to go and steal his experiments and then kill him so he could give it to Schmittler? Yeah, without hesitation, I believe this. I think it's so true. It's so true, dude. It feels so true, and it just makes everything make sense, so, right?
Roger Craig was Dallas Deputy of the Year in 1960. He and Jim Garrison had become good friends, and Craig says, "I told Jim I knew of 12 arrests, one in particular made by R.E. Vaughn of the Dallas Police Department. The man Vaughn arrested was coming from the Daltex building, across from the Texas School Book Depository. The only thing which Vaughn knew about him was that he was an independent oil operator from Houston, Texas.
Bro. Did everyone catch that? A man was arrested by one of these police officers in Dallas that day. And Jim Garrison only found that out because he himself, once again, if you aren't calling and investigating, no one's doing it. He himself, Jim Garrison, had to call that cop and ask because he had already asked the chief of police, who told him that they did not arrest anyone. And let's just real quick go back. What was the piece of information that this cop knew about this guy that he arrested and then let walk?
It was coming from the Daltex building. And Craig says, I told Jim I knew of 12 arrests, one in particular made by R.E. Vaughn of the Dallas Police Department. The man Vaughn arrested was coming from the Daltex building, across from the Texas School Book Depository. The only thing which Vaughn knew about him was that he was an independent oil operator from Houston, Texas. The prisoner was taken from Vaughn by the Dallas police detectives, and that was the last he saw or heard of the suspect. Holy moly. Please notice that in speaking to Jim Garrison, Craig says in particular. He and Garrison both thought this Daltex arrest was the most significant one made that day. Pretty amazing given some of the other arrests that were made.
And dude, he's spinning through this shit really fast. This dude is most likely Woody Harrelson's dad. I believe that. I think it's Woody Harrelson's dad. The way he acted is so weird when he was shown it. This is Woody Harrelson's dad, and people suspected for a long time that I saw someone was suspecting that this could possibly be George Bush. Maybe, but I don't know if it is him. But this dude is for sure E. Howard Hunt, who, if you guys don't know your CIA history, he is like the second most diabolical person after. I mean, there's a ton of them. There's so many diabolical ones. He's definitely in the top 10 most diabolical CIA guys. He's like up there with Alan Dulles, okay? So that's why he's saying there weren't any other people who were arrested either, even though we literally have photographs of these guys, and then we have the evidence of the chief, saying that we didn't arrest anyone. These guys were kind of arrested. You were like taking them somewhere, but they weren't handcuffed. But it looks like they got arrested.
Only thing Craig knew about this particular arrestee was that he had exactly the same unique CIA cover, an independent oil operator from Houston, Texas, that George Bush was using that day in his contact with the FBI, and when he placed the ad, and when he lied to McBride about being in Houston. There's not the slightest possibility that the men in charge of the assassination told anyone other than Bush, if you get arrested, tell the cops you're an independent oil operator from Houston. Not the tiniest chance. Garrison also wrote about Bush's arrest. At least one man arrested immediately after the shooting had come running out of the Daltex building and offered no explanation for his presence there. Local authorities could hardly avoid arresting him because of the clamor of the onlookers. He was taken to the sheriff's office where he was held for questioning. Later, 2 uniformed police officers escorted him out of the building to the jeers of the waiting crowd. They put him in a police car and he was driven away. He simply disappeared forever. Bush was running for Senate at this exact time that an angry crowd was clamoring for his arrest and jeered his release. Good grief. What if one of these people happened to see Bush's picture running for Senate and recognized him? Bush must have been terrified, no?
Yeah.
Scared stupid even. So stupid that the second he got out of the jailhouse, he rushed to a phone and called the FBI, hoping in a stupid panic to somehow create an alibi, but instead just incriminating himself further. So this story of his arrest makes sense. It fits together neatly with this other puzzle piece in that it helps explain that stupid phone call to the FBI.
Dude, John Hankey has him dead to rights, bro. I've never seen this stuff. Jesus Christ. I'm going to track John Hankey down. I mean, I could probably just leave a YouTube comment. I'll find his email, but this dude, oh my God, I gotta talk to him before something happens.
Yeah.
I gotta talk to him before something happens here.
Crazy, eh? This is Colonel Fletcher Prouty. We're going to see much more of him in a few minutes. He was one of the highest-ranking CIA people at the Pentagon.
Oh, yeah.
One of the people he answered to was General Victor Krulak, a special assistant to JFK. Prouty and Krulak were both positive that the man in this picture is CIA General Ed Lansdale, who they both knew well and worked with on a daily basis. Lansdale was in charge of Operation Mongoose, so he directly supervised Bush and Hunt as they worked with and directed the frontline killers. In this picture, Lansdale is in Dallas, in Dealey Plaza, walking deliberately close to these suspected shooters who had been arrested behind the grassy knoll.
Corey, you downloaded Twitch just for me. Thank you so much. You guys are freaking awesome. Seriously. It's been so fun, too. I'm glad I got banned from going live on Twitch for the net or on TikTok, so we kind of have to hop around at this point because they do not like the stuff that I'm saying. It's kind of awesome though. They really don't hurt my feelings at all. The blocking and stuff has only led my investigation, and I feel like they've helped along the way so much. There's been times where I'm like, no, there's no way that this is it. And then TikTok will help me realize that, oh, yep, I am correct. I hitting it on the head.
Forcing them to walk around him. He's signaling to his lieutenant.
But yeah, thank you guys for coming here. This has been really fun. This has been great, like, few months or whatever. Like, finding everyone and not being told I'm crazy, you know? It's awesome.
That as soon as they walk in the front door of the police station, it's all arranged to quietly sneak them out the back.
Yup.
The pieces make a pretty tight fit. We met Hunt briefly a few minutes ago when a jury found that Spotlight magazine was innocent of slander because the jury found that Hunt was guilty of being in Dallas and of being involved in the assassination. Turns out, though, like Bush, he wasn't just there. You see, it also turns out it's hard to hire a professional to shoot the president. A professional killer who gets away with being a professional killer isn't stupid. He knows the ropes, and briefly, he knows that if he kills the president and manages to escape the cops, the men who hired him will need to kill him. The bosses don't want to be blackmailed. They don't want truthful deathbed confessions either. And the shooter knows if he doesn't escape the cops, he's not going to make it to trial. So qualified shooters, the real professionals, refuse to take the job. That's how Bush ended up being a shooter, and Hunt. This photo of Lansdale also shows 3 men pulled off a freight car in the rail yard immediately behind the grassy knoll. There's several photos of these men being led across Dealey Plaza to the jail. And some say that this is Hunt, but I don't see it. It's hard to know. I definitely don't think any of these photos look like Che Guevara, but guess what? That's him. The KGB made him up in this disguise. So, if Hunt is wearing a CIA disguise, this tramp shouldn't look...
Whoa. That was pretty good. Wait, I'm going to have to revisit. We don't have time to go to that Che Guevara thing, but we need to figure out what the fuck that was about.
Any more like Hunt than this looks like Che. So what can we do? Renowned investigative reporter Jack Anderson hired 3M's Comtal Corporation, a firm that specializes in photographic analysis, to study this question of whether this...
Yeah, dude, the blatant censoring on TikTok is... Not only is it, like, so blatant, and now it's basically proven that there really are 60,000 feds at least on that app, and plus all the bots, plus everything else, you know? Like, if they would just... Like, you should just, like, suppress it and not, like, do all of the stupid, like, I don't know, they're you know, like, the attacking stuff, or, like, the reporting and stuff, because if you just suppressed it or whatever, and you weren't, like, making yourself so known, like, they're like black holes, you know, like, you can tell that they're there because there's a force that is having a huge effect, but I can't see it, like, that still proves that it exists. Like, something's there, you know? So, even just from, like, a intelligence standpoint, or, like, an MK Ultra, like, you know, like, brain control standpoint, it's dumb, because it has shown us every step of the way where we're right. Dude, seriously, like, I freaking... know in my heart and in my opinion that Hillary, like, JFK Jr. was removed to help Hillary.
Trampas Hunt, and
Comtel agreed. Photo enhancement showed a striking resemblance to Hunt.
generally speaking, I'm mistrustful of such so-called experts. So I'm still not persuaded. So what else we got? Ears. For crime investigators, looking at photos of faces.
Dude, me and John Hankey are the same person. John Hankey, oh, dude, John Hankey is my time traveler self. That's how I'm getting this stuff. John Hankey is just me 40 years in the future, and he's beaming it to me telepathetically.
Ears are similar to fingerprints. No two are.
Dude, quiet weapons for silent war you sent that yesterday, right? Bro. Okay, so it's like a document that was found in a Boeing printer, like copy machine that was sold, and they found it like in the tray or something. And it's I don't know how many pages, probably 1,000, but it basically says on the first page, hey guys, the first rule about take over the entire world conspiracy is don't talk about take over the entire world conspiracy. Okay, wait, we're gonna do a 5-second detour to this, because but like I have not gotten to read it as much as I've wanted to, but thank you for sending it to me. You guys always hit me with the best, hottest tips and shit, you know? Where is it? Hold on. I'm sorry. Oh my god, dead air. My worst nightmare. Start now, I'm panicking. Whew. Oh my god. Sorry, that was hard. Okay, let's just read the first page of this real quick so that we can get other people excited for it. Maybe we'll go do the next stream about it or whatever. But read this. Silent weapons for quiet wars top secret. This astonishing document was discovered in a surplus copier purchased from Boeing Aircraft in 1986. Reveals details of a plan hatched in the embryonic stages of the Cold War, which called for the control of the masses through manipulation of industry, people's pastimes, education, and political leanings. It called for a quiet revolution pitting brother against brother and diverting the public's attention from what is really going on. For all intents and purposes, this document has come to pass. Okay, this is the paragraph, or the page we gotta read. It is patently implausible to discuss social engineering or the automation of a society, i.e., the engineering of a social automation system, silent weapons, on a national or worldwide, New World Order-wide scale without implying extensive objectives of social control and destruction of human life, i.e., slavery and genocide. Dude, without implying extensive objectives, they're saying that's them without us telling everyone that this is what we're going to do. Genocide and slavery. Dude, these people literally are, it's always the same people. It's the same fucking, the people who owned the slaves in Roman times just ended up moving to frickin' America and owned the slaves during, slavery times. And then when they got booted out of America for like a month or whatever, then they went to South America, and then they probably are the ones who went to Germany, did the H-cost, and then when they got booted out of there, none of them were executed. They were all just brought back to South America. And dude, this is just the same cycle over and over and over. They get away with doing slavery for, 500 years, and then there's few years where people fight back, and then they move somewhere else and do slavery again. Like, these people literally just want slaves. It's so gross. It's so fucked. and they have all of the money. They have all of the resources. So it's like, what the fuck can you even do? Yeah, like I was really like thinking when I was telling Peter Thiel we were coming for him, I was like, how the hell would we even get to him? Like you just wait until he comes to New York, I guess, right? But yeah, so this manual is in itself an analog declaration of intent. Such a writing must be secured from public scrutiny, otherwise it must be recognized as a technically formal declaration of domestic war. Dude, they're literally writing it. That is what it is. It is domestic war. And all for what? To make people into psychopathic business extremists, right? It's so fucked. It's so like how can you have this worldview? Like, how do people have this fucking worldview? You know? What the hell happens to your brain where you get to this point? Abuse. And that's why they do the cycles of abuse. Dude. It's really dark, man. When they write a fucking, I mean, I can't even see how many pages it is. 100 pages? 100-page document talking about their secret fight club for controlling us, and literally it says our extensive objectives of slavery and genocide. It's one thing to be that type of person, to think that shit, but it's another to then write it down. This is literally, Peter Thiel has a thing called MAGA 3X. That's exactly this. It's like the Mountain Meadows, the Seven Mountains mandate thing. It's literally outlining exactly like this how to do it in the social media era. It's like, says like, go on and be inflammatory. Like, you just want to spark anger and outrage. And then it says like anyone that says any leftist values of cooperation and community, like, attack them and report them. It says mass report them. It like details exactly how to do it. And then it says the first rule of MAGA 3X is don't talk about MAGA 3X. It doesn't exist. It's like that's where those Pepe people came from. Remember, like, the Donald that Reddit? Like, that was part of it. It's like, essentially what we're doing, but for bad, It's like if our goal was was to enslave everyone and commit a genocide, It's so insane. But, people whose grandparents owned concentration camps and then had no repercussions for owning concentration camps and being the concentration camp that was the most brutal and killed the most people, sub camp of a concentration camp, like those kind of people would do it, I guess. But we don't have any of those because I've never heard of anyone being a Nancy in our government or like as defense contractors, right? Anyway, sorry, going off the rails here. Otherwise, it might be recognized as a technical, formal declaration of domestic war. And guys, we need to take it as this war has been declared on us, on normal people. And they say, we're going to make you into a bunch of psychopaths who worship business, just like Elon, just like Peter. Like, that's what they want. They want a bunch of lunatics who want to touch kids and be okay with whatever ring, Peter Peel's doing out of Haiti. Like, they want us all to be sick like them. And I'm never going to be sick like these fudgers. I don't get it. I don't get how you can have something like this done to you. Like, I'm assuming most of these people have been, like, affected by this, like, weird Illuminati, like, NAMBLA type situation where they always have, like, an old man with a young boy. Somehow they always are able to get young boys to come live with them, like 14-year-old guys or, boys. Like, they're all obsessed with it. Dude, I bet that shit happened to HW. That would make sense too why it's so pervasive, especially now. It's because he was like, he's just doing what he knows. He was like, yeah, no, just go do the thing that I did to frickin' Prescott Bush. He's like, it's worth it. It's fine. The he'll grow up and be just like me. He'll grow up and he'll take over a government for the Nancys and not tell anyone. And then get his son elected and do it for his whole life. The Scherfs, dude. George W. Scherf. We gotta start only referring to them as the Scherfs too, right? Like, Jesus. I can't believe 2 of our presidents, not 2, because it's all of them. Like, isn't Obama is related to them? They're all related. Isn't Biden related to them? Like, they're all the same. We literally have a royal family. We have a royal family, and this is their royal guard. This is how they do it now. They don't just sit there and behead people in public anymore. They behead them, with the press. They say, you're crazy, you're crazy. It's worse than getting your freaking head cut off. At least when you get your head cut off, it's, like, over quick. Dude, I can't even imagine, like, the stuff like Bieber's going through. I feel so bad for Bieber. He's got to be, like, because I think this stuff is still to this day going on, right? Like, Diddy's people, Diddy was, like, DC madaming, but then also had his own clients or whatever, like Lucian Graves. That dude, Diddy had to service his boss. It's literally Nexium. It's Nexium. That's what it is. It's Nexium. I hope that Justin is not doing Nexium, but, like, part of me feels like they probably make you. I don't know. I'm going too far off the rails. I'm sorry. I've always wondered where the P-word stuff comes from. Dude, me too. And I think that this is it. I think it's like this, like, NAMBLA type relationship is far more, like, prevalent in the elite, like, society or whatever than we know. I think it's true. I feel like these people, like, a lot of them openly talk about it. Like, they openly talk about being P-words. Like, Isaac Cappy, he talked about, before Tom Hanks got him, Isaac Cappy said to everyone that Seth Green came up to him and was like, oh yeah, I'm a P-word. Like, we all are, kind of. All of it. Like, all the big people are. That's what Isaac Cappy said, I think. They dude, and they, like, think of it as, like, a joke too. I've been reading, like, more of this, like, there's another thing besides this secret weapon, or no, this is silent weapons. There's a book called Secret Weapons, and it's about two sisters who were MK Ultra'd into being super spies. Like, it's literally the Americans, but they talk about, I forget what I was just saying. It doesn't matter. We need to get back to this so we can go back to our documentary before VPR. The solution of today's problems requires an approach which is ruthlessly candid with no agonizing over religious, moral, or cultural values. You have qualified for this project because of your ability to look at human society with cold objectivity and yet analyze and discuss your observations and conclusions with others of similar intellectual capacity without a loss or discretion or humility. Such virtues are exercised in your own best interest. Do not deviate from them. Like, dude, and it says human society. Like, dude, if I find out that Peter Thiel and these other people are literal alien reptiles and all of this stuff is true, I'm gonna lose it. I swear. Dude, I mean, I feel like that's what we are gonna find that out. Like, the aliens are literally here, and they can shapeshift into humans. Oh my god. The world is nuts, guys. But anyway, yes, silent weapons is awesome. Thank you so much, 666, Mr. Bunny. You are... Keep sending me shit, guys. I love it.
Exactly the same. I'm going.
And if I don't see your messages and stuff, there's no offense. It's like, I've never had this problem. But like, you know, there's a lot of people messaging me, which is awesome. But if just be persistent a little bit. Don't be too much. But if a week goes by and I didn't see anything, you can nudge me or whatever. But yeah, if you guys have good tips, especially because like I get all of my good tips from you guys. I can't even scroll on TikTok, like, because my For You page is just effed. It's like none of my friends are being shown to me. It's all just opposite day. But so what I usually do is I just go through my mentions where you guys at me in the comments and stuff. Like that lets me see all my good videos really, really fast, and that's that's probably the easiest for me to see too, because I don't always go in the right, folders or whatever to look up all the things. But if you at me in the comments, that's awesome. And don't be discouraged if they delete your comment, because I still see them. I click on the video and it takes me there, but the comment is deleted, but it still takes me to the video, so it doesn't matter. But hell yeah, send me stuff if you guys see something that's coming along the trail, because I honestly don't know much more than like where we are, like I try and get this stuff out as we're going, because I don't want to have any information only in my head, because then that is the exact moment I will find a laser.
Going to copy Hunt's ear from this photo and bring it over to the tramp. The tramp photo especially is not ideal, but you can...
But yeah, we just got on that huge rant because I'm telling you, dude, John Hankey and me have the same exact instincts. He's like, give me 25 square pixels, and I swear to God, I will see if the ears are the frickin' same. Paul Weisopel. Oh my God, I gotta talk to John Hankey about Paul. That's my in. That's how I get that's how I get Hankey to be my friend, right? Dude, yes.
See that the ears are...
No, it was everyone knows what they're getting into at this point. I think when they come over here, it's like, we're gonna watch something that's 5 minutes, but it's gonna take 4 hours, and then I'm gonna forget halfway through what we were talking about. But like, it seems like you guys have similar problems, so I think I'm in good company. Sometimes.
Very similar.
Some of you guys are the best researchers, like Ashley. Oh my God, dude. She's like 25 months ahead of me in terms of research. But you guys are great. Keep it up. Always research, dude. No one's investigating this shit. It's just us.
They both have this narrow gap right here, and they both seem to share this empty space at the top. I wouldn't convict anybody on such evidence, but if Hunt's ear looked like this or this, we'd have to say he is not this tramp. But this ear analysis says he might be. And you should know, Hunt's son also says that this is him.
I was on the sidewalk. I was at a phone booth, and I was on the phone, and I looked up, and on the side of the telephone pole was a very crude poster, I guess you'd call it, or a large leaflet, which announced that the CIA had murdered JFK. Dick Gregory determined that E. Howard Hunt murdered JFK. And on this rather crude poster were 3 photographs. And then the middle picture was clearly a picture of my father, E. Howard Hunt. But that was really crazy for me to see that.
That's rather substantial.
Amen. Finally, a kid of a Fed not being a fucking Fed. Dude, E. Howard Hunt's son. Round of applause. Good job, buddy. You frickin' did it. You're the only one. Truly.
This is Hunt's son. He knows what his father looks like. He may have seen his father walking around the house with this expression on his face 1,000 times. I don't know. But let's quickly revisit this magazine article about Hunt. The article was based on a memo written by James Angleton, the head of CIA counterintelligence, and he wrote that Hunt was in Dallas and was involved in the assassination. But notice, please, Lansdale was also there, Bush was also there, other members of Lansdale's team were also there, but Angleton doesn't mention any of them, just Hunt. It's like Hunt played some special role that the others did not play, like maybe he fired the fatal shot, you think? That's a solid maybe. So how did he know? Was Hunt bragging?
I just saw Houdini said, we are literally the adults now, because everyone was goofing about all of us having ADHD and, like, going off on crazy tangents. He said, it's a stream of neurodivergence. And Houdini said, we are literally the adults now. I've been saying that it's, like, crazy. I don't even think of myself as, like, an adult. I feel like I'm, like, like, 20, like, just in the terms of, like, I feel like when I was younger, I would look at people who were like, ew, kids are weird. I hate kids. And I remember being like, we just want to make art. Like, Kurt Cobain is cool or whatever, And I remember at that age being like, the day that I'm like, these fucking kids, that's the day that I'm like, I should be lasered out of the sky. Because, like, dude, if I don't get the, like, hating young people thing. Like, dude, I mean, it's just change, people hate seeing change or whatever, but it's always just been so lame when people, like, talk shit about younger people. Like, they just want a little guidance, and not even that, but they're doing cool shit. Like, they do way cooler shit than anyone who's, like, 45. And they're always like, the music is so weird. Dude, they have cool music too. Everyone just hates any change.
Nixon also seemed to know Hunt was involved.
But yeah, we are the fucking adults now. And they need to realize, no, we're going to make them realize this, right? Because we are not, don't tell me not to buy an avocado toast. I'm going to knock your teeth down your fucking throat, Like, I could break your fucking hip, Grandpa. You better watch yourself. I'm fucking 35.
And said so. That Hunt played some special role that made him stand out. That's a also there.
Just go back.
But Angleton doesn't mention any of them, just Hunt. It's like Hunt played some special role that the others did not play, like maybe he fired the fatal shot, you think? That's a solid maybe. So how did he know? Was Hunt bragging? Nixon also seemed to know Hunt was involved and said so. That Hunt played some special role that made him stand out in Nixon's mind. Stupid Watergate Nazi G. Gordon Liddy, in his stupid book, stupidly repeats the stupid lie that Hunt killed 22 people. Hunt must have bragged to Liddy about it. You don't suppose Hunt was a braggart? Well, duh. If you write 3 autobiographies, count them, 3, you are a braggart. And in this first autobiography, Hunt includes this picture and caption.
Dude, John Hankey is honestly he is my one hero now. I can have one hero. I'm going to try and let John Hankey see if he can fulfill it. If he can fulfill the position. Because I feel like John Hankey might not be a perv. He might be the only person who isn't a perv besides me. It's me and John Hankey. That's all I can say with certainty, is that everyone are pedophiles except for me.
No doubt he was giving a wink to his CIA friends, bragging. Yeah, it's true what you heard. I did it. It was me. But I'll tell you, I wasn't overly impressed by all of this preliminary stuff. But with all that preliminary stuff as context, as background, I feel this picture is practically a lock that Hunt was the Knowles shooter. And it makes sense, doesn't it, that the planners would put the #1 experienced sniper in the most critical position. Hunt claims that he was the chief of covert action in the Domestic Operations Division. He also claims that he was the chief of the CIA's Western Hemisphere Division. But for sure, he wasn't a nobody. He had an...
Isn't that crazy, dude? They sent the people running this assassination department, one of who was running for Senate to go kill the president. But yeah, I think it's because everyone said no. Because it's insane. They were like, yeah, I want you to do it in broad fucking daylight. Do it in broad daylight, right up by him.
Office in Nixon's White House. So when Dick Gregory started speaking out and putting up posters saying that Hunt was this...
Yeah, they do have these fucking lasers on planes now. Dude, the laser wars is not going to be good. Like, I just don't get it. These people are just fighting demons. Literally. I wish they would fight themselves. Like, can you... It just takes such a fucked up individual to be like, I want to go to the Middle East and steal all of their oil and also eradicate them and their religion. How can I do that? Well, I guess I'm going to have to make it seem like they're attacking me because I know that I shouldn't optically. It's not good look to attack someone for no reason, right? So they're like, hold on. I'm going to dress up like them because I like playing. I like doing plays. I like being theatrical. I like deceiving. You know, I like just having a good old theatrical time. I love acting. Dude, they all are they're all failed actors. J. Edgar Hoover even. They all just love playing dress up and doing coups. That's why I believe this secret society shit at this point, because it's like, yeah, that's who it would take, is these people who are loaded, right? You got to be rich AF because you got to have free time to be this fucked up. Like, seriously. And yeah, they all think of it as a game. It really pisses me off. It really, really, really does. And like, look at the way that they treat human lives. Like, blowing a dude's head off in front of his, next to his wife.
Tramp, and that the CIA had murdered JFK. This decoy was hired and pushed into the spotlight, James Files, to say that he was the lone grassy knoll shooter. But every witness who saw anything behind the fence at the top of the knoll says there were at least 2 men there. Photos show 2 men. He tells us that he's a murderous mafia shitbag, but he has some inexplicable devotion to the truth about how Hunt didn't do it. Okay. And he got...
Yeah, that's why it seems so sloppy sometimes. It's not one group. It's a bunch of them fighting amongst themselves. Yeah. Yeah. It's literally Game of Thrones, It's a bunch of like-minded, weirdo national Zionists who all have slightly competing, things. Like, I literally think that what they're gonna do is, like, offer... It's gonna be, Man in the High Castle. They're gonna give the Mormons everything west of the Mississippi or something, and then the Nancys will take everything on the east, and they'll do East United States of America and the West United States of America. And then they'll just do concentration camps, and it'll be white America, Mormon America, Nancy America. And yeah, so they have like goals, but then they're also infighting because, like, the Nancys, I'm sure, hate the Mormons because the Nancys think that they're the superior race or whatever, because I'm pretty sure that they're like they're the people, they're the atheists, right? And then I guess the Mormons are like the nihilists, right? Isn't that? I think. I don't know. I've always tried to figure out how to read that part of that Albert Pike letter, but like, yeah. The Nancys and the Mormons, I don't know if they at the end are gonna be like chummy buds, or if they're just gonna divide anything and be like, you stay over on your side of the line. But for now, they're all in the same team-ish, and they're competing. They're having their own Game of Thrones battle while they're trying to get rid of everyone who isn't white. Like that's like and it's so, I feel like it's like not that many people that are pushing all of this, Like, these people are so bad. They're going to try and kill all of our friends who are not white. Like, that's their mission. That's their goal. I don't even get it too, because like you guys heard that Austin Russell, alleged Austin Russell podcast, right? Where he's like, I wouldn't mind if like we got rid of everyone who's LGBTQ in Atlanta. And he's like, well, legally, of course, legally. Like, do a Sherman's March for all them gays. But, dude, I'm pretty sure your cousin Peter Thiel is exclusively interested in men, right? And I've heard stuff about Austin Russell, So, like, I don't get it. Like, they're all just self-hating, really. They've all gotten their wires crossed, and they think that love is abuse. Like, dude, I watched, oh my god, what was the movie about the German, the Queen of Auschwitz, you guys know that movie that was just one of the Oscars or whatever. Whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. That movie really, everyone needs to watch that. It's like, that perfectly puts exactly like who these people are. Like, they like enjoy externalizing their like anxieties and stuff in the form of like physically abusing people, mentally abusing other people, instead of just like growing up. Like the husband and wife fight about like something for work or something, and the husband storms off, and then immediately the wife starts yelling at one of her Jewish servants who they live next to a concentration camp. And it's just like, I don't know how anyone could ever be okay with that kind of stuff. In the movie, one of the lady's friend comes and stays with her for like a week or whatever, and ends up leaving halfway through, because it's so messed up. But she gets enjoyment out of it. She likes the power dynamic and stuff. Some people are effed like that. I don't know. I don't get it.
25 years taken off his sentence because he claimed to have murdered Kennedy. Really? Is that how that works? But the way I see it, if this were some unknown, unimportant schmuck in this photo, no one would have thought to hire Files to tell us this lie. The fact that the killers found it necessary to hire Files, that fact is perhaps the strongest evidence that this is in fact Hunt. And then there's this clown, Chauncey Holt, who was a low-down, small-time fraudster all his life, who gave his wife a phony name when he married her, and for the next 20 years. They had a daughter that he gave his phony name to, and he actually says that he's coming forward out of a righteous desire to stand up for the truth and to defend Hunt from slander. I'm not kidding. You couldn't make up more ridiculous garbage, and he says that he is the tramp in the photos. And as he's telling us this lie, he does kind of look like the tramp, except that the tramp photo was taken 40 years before, when Holt looked like this, 30 years younger than the tramp. This story is so dumb. The perps are bending over backwards to protect Hunt, but they don't see that by doing that, they are really only incriminating him. It's really ironic, no? Angleton's memo didn't say Hunt was a shooter, and I didn't suspect that he was. But after this constant pounding from all these stone liars, I'm now convinced Hunt did that shit. But who cares? It's a minor detail. Isn't it?
Yeah, wait. 666. Is the, like, Barbara Bush stuff true? I'm just trying to, like, obviously, like, are I feel like, like, I am not a transvestigator at all. Transphobia is disgusting. But I think there might be something actually going on with some of the, some, like, Barbara Bush I keep running into was supposedly a man. And, like, I feel like this, dude, we are, like, completely overtaken by evil gays, I think. Truly. Right? In the like, with the most peace and love. We have a bunch of evil gays who've taken over and are very angry, very, very insecure, very, very sad. Like Peter Thiel, I feel like is one of the saddest people. He has to be. Like you can only be this like demonic and like literally be interested in running a you know, allegedly Jeffrey Epstein ring part 2. Like you would have to be so fucked in the head to be okay with that. He's got to be like the saddest person in history. But yeah, and then I'm sure that I feel like he's just a misogynist. I don't know if Peter Thiel's ever said anything like, "Oh, we hate the gays" or whatever, but Austin I know he said the like, "I wouldn't mind if they got rid of all these gays." And I keep seeing that maybe he might not be into women, so it's like they are just like super insecure. So anyway, I don't care if Barbara Bush is a man, like for that reason, but I do want to know if this is something that's true, because if there's like multiple people who are hiding as, and that's the thing too, is like they're Nancy's too, so like are they hiding who they are or what? Like I don't get it. Like the people who are obsessed with trans people are like usually obsessed with them because they like it and then they feel weird, right? It's like Alex Jones is like, what do they call it, a chaser? Is that derogatory? Should I not say that? But it's supposed to be, it's like someone who actively wants to date or actively seeks out people who are trans to date. Like they're like, I just prefer trans people. And a lot of times online and stuff, they'll be really mean and cold and they're like they're the bully incel trolls. But then a lot of them, you find out that they go home and then they watch, trans person pornography. Like Alex Jones got literally caught on a stream. He had 2 tabs at the top of his browser that was like, two trans titles or something. But then at the same time, it's like they say all this horrific stuff about trans people. So I don't know. Is it self-hating stuff or is it? I'm not sure what it is. But if I'm ever off base, guys, tell me, because I'm not trying to offend anyone. And obviously, I love my trans bros and my sisses. But I feel like it's important if there's multiple people who are German Nancies hiding that they're German Nancies, and they're also hiding, they're cross. I don't know if cross-dressing is the right word. But yeah, anyway, let's watch this doc for a second. I'm going to watch or read you stuff.
Let's review for just a second. CIA General Lansdale, in the street in Dealey Plaza, was the highest-ranking leader of what Hoover called the misguided anti-Castro Cubans, called Operation Mongoose. Lansdale answered directly and only to Bobby Kennedy. Dealey Plaza was crowded with Lansdale's operatives. Besides his lieutenants Bush and Hunt, there were a gang of low-level operatives acting as decoys, including Frank Sturgis, Jerry Hemmings, Pedro Diaz-Lanz, Orlando Bosch, Guillermo Novo, and Ignacio Novo. But it's useful to look at this structure. Lansdale is the second tier down from the White House, and immediately under him was a team of lieutenants, supervisors of the violence, answerable to no one but him. Bush and Hunt were members of this third-level team, and another member of this team was Ted Shackley. Shackley was nicknamed the Blonde Ghost because he hated to be photographed. He was famous for it. But now, wait, don't all CIA people hate to be photographed? Well, no, not Hunt or Bush. And in fact, Shackley was not an operative. He was a desk jockey. He virtually never left his office. Why do you suppose it is, then, that this pencil pusher was famous for hating to be photographed? It's not a casual question. You see, this is Shackley, being arrested as a shooter outside the book depository. No wonder, then, that he was terrified of being photographed. He couldn't afford someone looking at this video and saying, "Oh, shit, that guy looks exactly like Ted Shackley," which is what I said when I saw it. You can see the pattern we're developing here, no? No professional would take the job, so to our mutual amazement, you can see the pattern we're developing. The top highest leaders of the CIA Mongoose operation had to directly involve themselves as shooters. Bush was arrested coming out of the Daltex building from which shots had been fired. Hunt was arrested behind the grassy knoll, and the news reporters say this Shackley twin was arrested coming out of the book depository. But we're missing somebody. Richard Carr testified that he saw a man with horn-rimmed glasses on the 6th floor, but Carr and at least 4 other witnesses, Amos Ewens, Tony Henderson, Arnold Rowland, and Deputy Roger Craig, all testified that they saw a 4th, very dark Latino member of this team of shooters. Some saw him wielding a rifle. Ewens actually...
Wait, is this the person that was by Umbrella Man? That was... there was one dark-skinned person who was possibly part of the shooting team that was either the guy with the umbrella or the his partner next to him, which is part of the reason why I think the Zapruder film is fucked with, because I think there is a shooter there in that umbrella spot, and they used the sign to cover it or something. I'm not sure. But, dude, John Hankey's knowledge of this is nutty. It's so good. He honestly might be like the foremost expert. Thank God, because he is, well, Andy's so fucking funny, dude. He's funny, he's smart, he's quick, and he's got a fucking vendetta against these people, and I'm right there with him, bro. Dude, I hope that I'm as vindictive about these people. Or no, I hope that I don't have to be. I hope that we get them eventually, because I can't do this for 50 years, guys. It's going to eat me alive.
actually saw him firing shots.
That's not true. I actually really enjoy this. I don't have a hard time with it. It's just fucked up how fucked up people are. But putting the pieces together and making content for you guys and hanging out with you guys, I love that. That is not exhausting at all. I mean, I probably do it more than I should, but for now, it's great. It's fine.
Craig saw him being questioned by the police, and Carr and Craig both saw him driving the getaway Nash Rambler station wagon with Lee Harvey Oswald on board. And they all described this fourth member of the team as a very dark Latino. Wait, a very dark Latino in the highest levels of the CIA, really? Yes, really. David Morales, who worked directly for Shackley, was Shackley's chief of operations in Miami. Miami was by far the largest operations office in the entire CIA, and Morales...
Dude, that's what I mean, like, even now, it's literally 60 years and a couple months after JFK was assassinated, and we're still finding shit out that is nutty about this. Like, I've never heard this.
was in charge. This is Ruben Carvajal, Morales' lifelong friend, at his side when he died.
You don't mess with him, and he'll blow your ass up.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, when I found, you said it's nice to have other people to do this research with, because when I started deconstructing everything, I was alone. Yeah, and I feel like Eric O'Ryan, you know, the guy who wrote the Bush conspiracy or Bush connection stuff, he wrote it in like 2002, I think, or no, maybe not that early. But you know, he wrote it like 2006 or something. And can you imagine like doing all of this stuff? Like getting Otto Skorzeny being like, yeah, no, everyone is a Nazi, and you being like, oh, how can I prove that without like, you know, a bunch of nerds and a computer and stuff 20 years ago? But like that, I couldn't imagine being him and being like, you know, just having this to yourself. But yeah, truly, TikTok getting all of us together has been awesome, because same with finding Dante and Nicole. As soon as I saw Dante and Nicole's videos, I just felt it in, like, it was like a feeling. I was like, I need to speak to these people. I feel like we would be good friends, and they're like, you know, trying to do a similar thing. So it's like someone to keep you in check, because I you know, guys, I know this stuff is loopy, right? And I do not get excitement out of like finding this. I mean, it is exciting, it's exhilarating, but I'm not happy about any of this shit, right? This is honestly really scary. It's like we gotta defeat the Nazis again, but oh, actually, it's not, again, because you didn't defeat the Nazis, because they've only been getting their strength since you thought you defeated them, you know? It's really scary, and like I don't want to scare people, but I need people to like take this fucking seriously, you know? Like, yes, it's going to be hard, but we can do something about this. Honestly, like I think that just getting this stuff in the open, like I'm not even saying that we're going to have to go do, you know, any violence or anything. Like I really think that shame and more than that, like belittling stuff that is stupid like this, belittling it out of existence is real. Like we can make the IDF and stuff such a joke that they all quit, you know? I feel like we could do that with other aspects of this, because there is a lot of power in the humor and just like the mental respect that people give. Like, dude, if we got everyone to look at capitalism and clown on it the way that everyone, like, I don't know, who's someone that everyone clowns on? Like, we could turn capitalism into Diddy, you know? Like, we could make it, like, we just gotta get these poor little simpletons to realize that every single one of their problems is from capitalism. Like truly every problem. Like even down to mental illnesses. If you remove having to grind every day 5 out of 7 days a week, all those mental illnesses, I bet, wither away, wash away. Like that. Goes away forever. But they're like, no, actually that won't do it. And we're not going to try. Like, let's try it for a week. Hey, if everyone has to work 1 day a week and also has guaranteed roof and, I don't know, 2 square meals a day, let's see how many mental illnesses are around, you know, like... Like, dude, everyone is just fighting for their life constantly. So, of course, we're mentally ill. And then our government is actively sabotaging us and making us think that we're crazy by lying to us, by just killing us for no reason, by releasing possibly, like, you know, a disease to kill all of us, to crash planes into our towers, to just do all sorts of wackadoodle shit, you know?
And this is Bob Walton, a friend and lawyer to Carvajal and Morales. Carvajal and Walton both say that Morales told them that he was in Dallas and helped kill Kennedy.
He was striding around the room, and I don't ever recall seeing him lose it like that.
It was when the subject turned to Kennedy that Morales lost it. Morales told them,
I was in Dallas when we got that motherfucker.
And as we're drinking, and finally did he something. Well, we got the son of a bitch. That's what he said.
Morales received a subpoena to testify before the Select Committee on Assassinations. A week before he was to testify, he suddenly died of a heart attack at age 53.
Say, what's the matter with you, Diddy? He said, I don't feel too good. I said, why not? He said, I had a few drinks with my cronies up there before I left West D.C. He said, really? He said, on the plane, I haven't been feeling good. Wasted 5 hours to get him to the hospital to make damn sure that he didn't... I guess he wanted him dead, I guess, real good. They knocked him off, man, you know. But he knew too much.
Unlike Hunt, Morales was not a braggart. He was not usually subject to such outbursts.
I don't ever recall seeing him lose it like that.
This confession, then, with all this corroborating context, is hugely credible. Morales matches the profile we now have of the shooters. He matches the descriptions, and he confessed. So, does all this qualify as a breakthrough? Bush being arrested as a shooter, that's a breakthrough, no? This guy was head of the CIA and vice president and president and father of a president. He's one of the big dogs.
So crazy.
And this is a big crime to hang around his neck, finally. And I think there's a couple of even bigger points to be scored here against the bad guys. First, we get to see that these guys, the big bosses, the power elite, are truly limited in their scope and capability. They aren't all powerful like they want us to think. Hell, they couldn't even find a team of crack marksmen to be the shooters. And they couldn't get away with it. We caught them. It took nearly 60 years, but it's not too late to hang their crimes around their necks. And to me as a historian, that feels like a breakthrough.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Well, what am I going to do about it? I don't care. Remove George H.W. Bush's fucking name from every single building in America. That would be a start. That would be the first thing to do. The second thing to do would be try Dick Cheney for war crimes and immediately jail him. Like, don't even try him. Just throw him in jail. Don't give him a trial. Don't even go talk to him ever again. Literally throw him in a void and don't look back. Like, these people have done the most fucked shit. All for what? For what? Like, dude, the fact that not everyone is, like, so fucking pissed off about this really makes me sad. Because, literally our lives would be completely different. Dude, we would... It's so fucked. It's so It's all just to have worker bee slaves. And we are marching our fucking asses right back in there. We are goose-stepping our goofy asses back to servitude forever. These people literally are trying to get us to be slaves forever, for eternity. They said, oh, just whipping them for 400 years and using our power. They fought back. How do we get to a point where they will not even fight back? And seems like they found it. Give everyone a TV.
But we've got even bigger monsters to harpoon. John Kennedy's killers wanted war because they love killing, and they love war profits.
Truly.
And they killed Kennedy for...
Like, I don't even think it's hyperbolic to say that they love war. I honestly do think that these people are actively seeking out war because of their weird religion, their weird blood ritual religion, which is not Judaism. It is the Luciferian bullshit and the Mormon bullshit. It's all the same thing. Dude, I bet once you get to be Pope, they're like, actually, it's not Jesus we're praying to, it's the devil. Actually, I bet at the Vatican, they don't even speak about God. Like, they don't even have the pretext of pretending like the shit is real. Like, none of those people believe that stuff. No chance. They are so cynical, they cannot. So I bet they literally just talk about it in terms of, how do we eradicate all the gays, and how's the business doing? What else can we steal?
for resisting.
Until it has abolished all armies and all weapons.
In any murder, hiding the motive is a highest priority. No matter the evidence, the killers can put on an innocent face, claim innocence, and ask, why would we want to do that? So there has been a huge, amazingly complex and effective effort by the killers to hide why Kennedy was killed by repeating the lie that he had no hard plans to get out of Vietnam. And this effort has been incredibly successful. For example, I love the movie JFK, but when I saw this scene, I was shocked.
So, 1963. I spent much of September 63 working on the Kennedy plan for getting all U.S. personnel out of Vietnam by the end of 1965. His National Security Action Memo 263.
I'd read a mountain of books.
We've talked about this shit, right? Dude, it's so crazy how many decent books about, this is On the Trail of Assassins is the book that Jim Garrison wrote. That's a really good one, too.
On JFK and his murder, but I'd never read that. Did Oliver Stone, the creator of the movie, just make it up? No, he didn't.
No, Oliver Stone's movies, like, he's going to be vindicated one day, and I swear to God, if I find out that he's a Mossad agent and he actively hid the Mossad element, I will disown Oliver Stone. I will make sure that dude, he's in Hollywood. He probably is. I've been saying for so long how vindicated Oliver Stone is and how right. I mean, he is right. He's not wrong. He's either just duped by the Mossad stuff like all of us were. But I feel like, I don't know. Because he could have been duped by the person who is I think his agent or the producer who produced JFK. I think that dude was for sure Mossad. So it's hard telling yet. But I feel like, dude, if Oliver Stone knew this shit, I feel like he would have been saying stuff. Because the second October 7th happened, and like, you know, those couple weeks, that's when I finally put together that JFK was Mossad, or, you know, that Mossad did it. Or had a part in it, you know. Because I always just thought it was just Alan Dulles.
This mysterious guy
in Alan Dulles' team.
The black trench coat was real. We met him a few minutes ago. His name is Colonel Fletcher Prouty. He worked in the very highest levels of the Pentagon. In September of 1963, John Kennedy's military advisor, General Krulak, ordered Prouty to help him write up this decision to get out of Vietnam.
And it was perfectly logical from the Kennedy point of view that we should not be in Vietnam. And when he wrote that all American personnel would be...
I've never seen this guy talk about it. I've only seen the NSAM, but he said all U.S. personnel coming out of Vietnam by the end of the year, and then they didn't do that. They changed the memo, killed him, and then LBJ the next day said, increase the troops in Vietnam. You know, like, this is what I mean, like, What can I do? What do you mean they did the Vietnam War? We would not have gone to Vietnam if this didn't happen. I feel like there are people who can pay for this. At least, you know, like, I'm not saying like even like George W. Bush is a traitor to America. He's a spy, literal spy. Like, he can be punished for this. He actively knew his dad is a spy, and he went along with it and did did the Iraq War. Get the fuck out of here. Like, we went to Vietnam because they killed this man in front of everyone on TV. You're not on TV, but in broad daylight, you know? Like, we should do everything in our power because we are going to end as slaves if we do not.
out of Vietnam by the end of '65. That was Kennedy's decision.
So Stone didn't make this story up. He got the story from Prouty. But did Prouty make it up? No, he didn't. All the people whose job was to know such things said Kennedy had decided to get out. Roger Hilsman said so. He was Kennedy's action officer on Vietnam. It was his job to know what Kennedy wanted.
Dude, look at it. He's got the docs right here.
And to see that he got it. And he says that Kennedy wanted to negotiate a peace with Ho and have all Americans withdraw. Kenny O'Donnell was Kennedy's chief political strategist, his #1 guy. It was his job to know Kennedy's most sensitive plans, and he says that Kennedy wanted to negotiate a peace with the communists and have all Americans out by the end of '65. Robert McNamara was Kennedy's Secretary of Defense. It was his job to know.
Important meeting that occurred, 7 weeks before he died, October 2nd, 1963. And what happened was that President Kennedy decided, number one, we'd planned to withdraw our advisors by the end of 1965, December 31, 65. Number two, there were 16,000 advisors there then. We'd planned to withdraw the 16,000 by the end of December 1965.
But I had read Hilsman. I had read McNamara. So why was I so shocked by this scene?
I spent much of September '63 working on the Kennedy plan for getting all U.S. personnel out of Vietnam by the end of 1965. This plan was one of the strongest, most important papers issued from the Kennedy White House. His National Security Action Memo 263.
Because this fact that Kennedy had officially decided all personnel out by the end of '65 is not in any of their books. This Hilsman quote is from an interview with the JFK Library that he knew would be kept secret for 20 years.
Yeah, dude, you're talking about the DuPonts that they made Agent Orange and then poisoned a whole bunch of West Virginians. Dude, I went to a fucking wedding like last summer, I think, that was at a DuPont family, like, you know, it's like a mansion. It's like a castle. And they rent it out, you know, to people for weddings and shit. And we got there and it's like the DuPont on everything, you know. These people have castles from killing us, from killing our presidents and telling us to go to war for them by literally poisoning us. That's why they have castles. And everyone's like, well, what am I going to do about it? There's like, it's just a couple people. What the hell? Like, everyone really wants to be a slave, I think. That is what it is. We're cucked. We're so cucked. I don't get it. Like, this shit gets me so mad, dude. If like Alan Dulles challenged me to a literal sword fight where the one of the outcomes could be me getting cut in half, I think I would do it. Just for the chance that I could fucking cut Alan Dulles in half and end this nightmare.
Years, but it's not in his book. McNamara said this quietly once.
That President Kennedy decided, number one, we'd plan to withdraw our advisors by the end of 1965, December 31, 65.
Dude, he like started swallowing that as he was saying it. I think he realized he shouldn't have fucking said it because this dude is a rat. He was JFK's advisor for whatever. What was it? Was it the military advisor? I forget. But he's one of these legacy motherfuckers, so you know he's involved. And Errol Morris did a movie called Fog of War, and it's really good, but it's him talking about all the fucking war crimes that he's committed. And dude, Errol Morris has to be a fucking Fed too. He literally made a New York Times short about how anyone who talks about JFK assassination as a conspiracy is crazy. Imagine that. Like, there's no way that the JFK literally wasn't a conspiracy. The government, even legally already admitted to her, was found guilty of it. They just didn't say who fucking did it.
At this small, out-of-the-way speech, it is not in his book. And guess what? If you look up National Security Action Memorandum 263, it's not there either. There's really almost nothing here except this note telling us to look at Section 1B of the McNamara-Taylor Report. And when we look at Section 1B, the recommendation that we find is this weak-ass, cowardly sentence about it should be possible to withdraw the bulk of U.S. personnel. McNamara says this was a decision to withdraw all 16,000 military people. But this doesn't read like a decision. It should be possible. It sounds at most like wishful thinking. Prouty and McNamara both tell us that this was a written decision, that
all American personnel would be out of Vietnam by the end of 65.
And O'Donnell and Hillsman. But the official document in the official record does not say all, it says the bulk. And it doesn't say will be withdrawn, it says should be possible. So where is the language about a firm decision to remove all personnel? The answer is it's not here. Are these guys all wrong then? All of them? Or has the most important document in the history of the Vietnam War been changed? Let's take another approach. How do you know when a decision is really a decision and not just some wishful thinking about some vague notion of withdrawal? How do you know? Because when a real decision is made, the people in the room walk out and immediately start to carry out that decision. And here you go, 40 hours after the October 2nd meeting, where
President Kennedy decided to withdraw.
Dude, John Hankey is a god. He is the best editor. Dude, fuck Johnny Harris until the end of time. John Hankey is the greatest editor, the greatest storyteller. Dude, fuck Johnny Harris. It's John Hankey all day or go the fuck away. I love him.
By the end of 1965.
40 hours later, General Maxwell Taylor, the head of all military, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, wrote this memo to all the military chiefs of the Army, Air Force, Navy, and Marines, telling them that the President approved recommendations contained in the TRIP report, and the following actions are directed. All planning will be directed for the withdrawal of all U.S. personnel by the end of calendar year 1965.
I've never seen this.
All personnel is exactly what Prouty said he wrote in the trip report on Kennedy's orders. Let's focus on some highlights for a minute.
Dude, that shit says all. Dude, and because I felt the same way about this too, where I was like, I mean, it says the closest thing to get the fuck out of there that they've ever seen before, you know, like JFK's like weak ass, like make it possible to withdraw or whatever. But dude, I remember when I was reading that in Hidden History, let me see if I made a note about it. I remember reading it and being like, this wording is so puss. It's so, you know, it's just like weak, cowardly. Like, this feels like it got touched, you know, it got lawyered, because it's always these fucking lawyers doing this bullshit. Fucking lawyers, dude.
Taylor is telling the chiefs, this is not a discussion. You are directed to take these actions.
Directed. Dude, this is... Where the fuck did John Hankey get this?
To prepare to have all U.S. personnel out of Vietnam by the end of 1965. But my final point is that he says that these recommendations were contained in the trip report. But this is the trip report, and this recommendation is not here. This document, McNamara and Taylor's trip report, is the most important document of Kennedy's entire administration and what we have.
Yeah, and this is so much more proof that it's such a cover-up, dude. It's such a cover-up. It's crazy. Oh, what am I supposed to do about it? I don't know. Stop George W. Bush from painting fucking paintings for Jeffrey Epstein. How about that? Let's start there. I don't think that George W. Bush should be able to have unlimited free time in order to paint paintings for Jeffrey Epstein. Because you know all those paintings, guys? Even the one of George W. Bush sitting there with his blocks that was in Jeffrey Epstein's house, and the dress, Bill Clinton in Monica Lewinsky's dress, you know, these paintings that were found at Jeffrey Epstein's house. If George W. Scherf did not paint those, I'm the Queen of England. Yeah, the paper airplanes and the knocked over blocks. Imagine the depravity of a human being who is a Nancy German spy, son of a Nancy German spy, still a Nancy, son of a German spy, but also deceive everyone for your entire life so that you and your daddy can go and do fucking the Iraq War so you can steal a Stargate, but also get loaded, get so much money. Like, you do all that, and then, yeah, you let 9/11 happen, and then your buddy, Jeffrey Epstein, who runs an S-trafficking ring as an arm of your whole operation, your buddy says, hey, buddy, I know you paint. Dude, this is literally you commissioning something from your buddy, your friend. You're like, oh, I'll get a tattoo. You're doing handmade tattoos? I'll get one from you. This is Jeffrey Epstein saying, hey, buddy. Hey, little buddy, George Scherf. Can I get one of your cool paintings? Can you do it of yourself? Making a goof about how the Twin Towers were knocked over and you just, like, were playing with your toys. Can you make that? And then George Scherf was like, yeah. For sure. I could live with myself if I did that, right? Like, how do you get to this point, man? It's just like, it's just abuse. It's just like, these people must all be attacked by P words at a very young age, and their whole world. But I mean, so many people fucking are assaulted and abused and stuff growing up, and they don't grow up to be a psycho like this. Like, it's money and these elite, like, rich families. Like, once you start thinking you're better than other people, your mind does crazy things, like, and it immediately does skull science, skull magic.
Have here is a forgery. The original, we now know, looked like this, but the most important sentence was removed and replaced with this huge lie. This is huge, unparalleled not just in U.S. history, but in all of history, as far as I know. Name another example of a forgery of this magnitude. I can't do it.
Dude, that's so good. Did you see that? Rich white men. That all men are created
As far as I know, name another example of a forgery of this magnitude. I can't do it. This memo from Taylor was declassified in 1997. It should have been a thunderclap among the liars who call themselves historians. It should have dominated the headlines on front pages for weeks, but you never even heard of it. No one you know has ever heard of it. No book has ever mentioned it. Exposing this document as a forgery by finding this document is a huge breakthrough. O'Donnell tells us that Kennedy decided in the spring of 1963 that the U.S. had to get out of Vietnam, but on October 2nd, he put that decision into action. He forced
Yeah, I
McNamara
literally do think that they don't think that they're human, right? Like, this whole they're aliens thing, I bet is a psyop by them, because they actually don't think that they're human, but they're all too cowardly themselves, because they're all terrified of dying. But you could see if you're a reptile right now. Do like in Westworld and just cut your arm open. Do it, cowards. Like, if you guys aren't human, you're better than us, and you aren't human. Come on. What? Why are you scared? You shouldn't be scared. And then every single thing they do is out of fear. Like, the whole they're like chasing like immortality. Dude, Peter Thiel, I wonder how many Blood Boys he drinks a day. But I bet it's like Epi Boy, Jeffy Epi. I bet it's just like Jeffy Epi, where he he was like, I gotta get 3 massages a day. Oh, I can't think otherwise. Oh, yucky. These people are fucked. But yeah, they don't think they're human, for sure. They think they're better than us, and we are cattle. And we're gonna have to show them soon that we are, in fact, not that. And we are actually cool.
his name on the decision, and he forced Taylor to put his name on the orders. A week later, Oswald was sent to work at the book depository.
Yeah, we're working towards Freemason. I'm gonna get a little more Freemason knowledge on my own, and then but yeah, I'm meaning to do this week. I will do a Freemason video. I'm just trying to get a little more of a grasp under it. I gotta build a little better base, because I don't really. It's so weird, but I'm getting it, because all the Luciferian stuff ties in with that. All the Mormon stuff is just stolen Freemasonry shit. Yeah.
So, now we know a lot about why he was killed, and we know a lot about who. I think it's time to ask, what did Johnson know?
Johnson had a ton of people killed, even before this. He had like 4 people that Donald Jeffries knows about. They're all just they're just literally criminals. It's a criminal enterprise. That's what it is. It's the criminals run everything. Of course they do. Of course they fucking do, dude.
JFK's limousine stopped in front of the grassy knoll and sat there for over 4 seconds.
I need to get that Behold a Pale Horse. Like, personally, they were involved in your life? I'm sorry, that's awful. Dude, all the people that get kept in these rings and stuff, like the way that they describe it, it takes them years to be able to figure out that the person that they thought was like dating them was actually their handler. It's literally Americans. It's the Americans. It's what Martha. Oh, poor Martha. Poor Martha loved Clark so much, and he just had a job that sucked his life away, and he never had any time to be with Martha, and she loved him so much, and then she finds out he's a freaking spy, and he's just using her to work to get information from the FBI. And she was such a loyal, good woman to him. Dude, that's what these people do. These fucks. Literally, George Scherf was a shitty version of Philip Jennings.
Till the fatal shot was fired. Senator Yarborough was in the third car in the motorcade, 30 feet behind Kennedy when he was shot, and he said publicly that the limousine stopped.
Everything slowed up, and the car stopped. The motorcade did not take off till about the time the third shot was fired.
A period of at least 5, 6, 7
About 5 seconds measured this way.
And he said so in his Warren Commission affidavit with undisguised fury at the Secret Service. The wife of Dallas Mayor Earl Cowell said so in her Warren Commission testimony. 5 motorcycle cops riding alongside the limousine.
So that's another reason why the fucking what's it called? The fucking Zapruder film. The Zapruder film is so doctored, but this would make so much sense if one of the reasons why they had to doctor it is because they fucking driver literally stopped. How dumb. Of course, dude. It wasn't like some professional hitman like what was the last JFK video that someone was speculating that it was this like Italian mob guy. I mean, it probably still was him, but I believe this more, like that it wasn't like this ace shot, you know? Like these like contract killers. It was George H.W. Bush probably in the sewer grate because none of the regular hitmen would agree to fucking do this because it's insane. But the Secret Service is like, they are still, like, they are a criminal enterprise too. They're their own criminal enterprise. I mean, I'm sure they're just Mossad, like, right? Dude, so fuck all of those Secret Service forever, man. They all were complicit. They all knew. Before they even left, they kicked one guy off of the crew because he was a good person. He was like the person who was I think he was Jackie's specific bodyguard, maybe. And he's like, they get off the airplane and they hop in the limo, and you know how they all run next to the car? He starts running, and then his officer, like leading commander guy, waves him off, and he's like, get out of here. And the guy's like looking around like, what the fuck? What? Why? And the guy he's like, go. So it's like 100% the Secret Service was 1,000,000,000% complicit in this.
Have said so on tape.
After the first shot was fired, Secret Service cut the speed on us. We were just barely moving.
I was sworn that the car stopped.
3-4 seconds, maybe 5, 6.
So I didn't say that car just all but stopped. I don't recall myself stopping. I must have some target to get off his motorcycle and run between those two cars.
5 eyewitness news people have said so.
I was on the White House press bus. I've had nightmares about it. The explosion, the car almost coming to a stop, almost to a dead stop, and then accelerating at tremendous.
Uh-oh, guys, bad news. There's going to have to be a part 2. It's Vanderpump time. I'm going to have to abandon y'all. I'm so hungry. Oh, dude, we're going to make it we got to make it 1 more minute. We're going to hit the 2-hour. But yeah, let's watch this last minute. I'm coming, dude. Just 1 minute. Start getting it ready.
All of a sudden, pop, pop, pop. The limousine almost stopped for a moment and then lurched forward under the underpass.
We have a phone call from Bob Clark in Dallas.
We heard the shots very clearly. The car that the president was traveling, this car came to an immediate stop. The Secret Service follow car. Some of the agents piled out. Then almost immediately leaped back into the car, and the motorcade took off very rapidly.
Mrs. Kennedy screamed out, "Oh no!" The car stopped momentarily. The Secret Service men immediately began fanning out into the crowd.
We stationed ourselves just down from the school book depository building. What I couldn't really believe was...
So what, the Secret Service just all abandoned her? Like, they just all walked away? Dude, the whole Zapruder film is bullshit. I really do think that up until the turn. Dude, no, the whole thing is fake. The whole thing has to be fucking faked. Like all of the sides, all of the people are not moving, and it's literally a still shot taken from Time magazine. There's like a couple like little animated things, but the whole row of people stands perfectly still. It's so fake. And then there maybe that part while he's rounding the corner is real, but once he hits the sign, the rest of it is a reshoot. Dude, that's what it is. That makes so much sense. That makes way more sense than anything. This dumbass shit. But okay, dudes, I'm gonna pause it there. We made it 2 hours. We did it. Okay. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you guys had fun. But you guys are the best. Yeah, these ritualistic ties. Heard of the Samson option? Yeah, is that when they're gonna nuke us all? I mean, I called this from the start, dude. I was like, this is gonna end with Israel either nuking Los Angeles or nuking New York. And so, if that's the case, ta-ta, it's been fun. But they are cowards. I could see them doing it. And not only are they cowards, they're Nancy's. They're national frickin' Zionists. So, of course, they're gonna act like this. But yeah, backed into a corner, I could see them dropping one on us for sure. Dude, they like get off on this now. That's why it's like so much scarier. It's like they're Nancy's. They're people like John Podesta who like abuses children for fun, you know. It's like literally the worst movie ever. No, it's like a devil movie, but okay, good night guys. Appreciate you.